Avenged Sevenfold is the fourth studio album by Avenged Sevenfold, released on October 26, 2007 by Warner Bros. Records. The album, originally slated for an October 16 release, was delayed by 2 weeks in order to provide more time to complete bonus material and production for the record, including the making of the animated music video for the song A Little Piece of Heaven. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200. On September 23, 2008, the album was certified gold by the RIAA. The album has also been released on vinyl. The band supported the album with a tour, beginning a day before the release of the album and ending in 2009. Avenged Sevenfold is the last full-length studio album produced by the band before the Rev's death, which occurred on December 28, 2009, just 2 weeks before the band was to commence recording their follow-up album Nightmare. His vocals are recorded in all of the songs on the album. Although critical reception to the album was mixed compared to previous releases, Avenged Sevenfold won the Kerrang! Award for Best Album in 2008. In addition, the album was included in Kerrang's 666 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. As of April 2014, it has sold over 960,161 copies in the United States. Pre-release, Avenged Sevenfold revealed the track listing for the album on their YouTube profile on August 9, 2007, as well as their text messaging service, A7X Mobile. The band has also posted a teaser on a recent YouTube blog featuring an excerpt of vocalist M. Shadows screaming in the studio. On August 17, 2007, a clip was posted with about 2 minutes of their first track on the new album, critical acclaim on the band's YouTube. The single was later uploaded in its entirety on YouTube and released on the iTunes Store on August 28. In the weeks leading up to the album's release, a series of 10 video clips, called Webisodes, were recorded featuring Wi-Fi the Fox. The first Webisode was released on August 24, 2007. A 3:41 clip that was posted on the band's YouTube channel. The clip consists of a pre-recorded phone message from Wi-Fi the Fox, and a few scenes of their process of making critical acclaim. Each of the subsequent Webisodes was similar in content. The clips featured a short mock interview between M. Shadows and Wi-Fi the Fox, various band members during the making of various tracks for Avenged Sevenfold, and other background videos. About 11 days before the album's release, the Wi-Fi trailer was posted on YouTube. In it, Wi-Fi sings critical acclaim, and talks about the MVI version of the new album. The Webisodes can all be viewed on the band's MySpace and YouTube pages. By September 9, 2007, news leaked of the completion of a music video for the song Almost Easy. It was directed by P.R. Brown, known for his collaborations with Ma Paragraphed Lee Krawan Coterie and Marilyn Manson, among many others. On September 12, 2007, the release date of the single Almost Easy was announced and was released 6 days later on September 18 to purchase via digital download. The month of October was a busy one for the upcoming album. On October 3, Kerrang! Released an article in which M. Shadows and Sinister Gates were interviewed about the new album. This day also saw the release of a live performance of Almost Easy at the Warped Tour 2007. Originally the band intended to release this footage if viewers watched the official music video for the track on YouTube 150,000 times. Though the goal fell short at 120,000, the band still released the footage. Another live video, featuring the third track Scream performed in Liverpool, England, was posted on YouTube on October 11. The song was also heard during a commercial for the Scream Awards on Spike TV. M. Shadows can clearly be heard singing, "You Know I Make You Wanna Scream," which is an excerpt from the chorus. Scream was performed live at the 2007 Spike TV Scream Awards on October 23. Also, Loveline played the radio premiere of Afterlife, and Almost Easy, which was guest hosted by M. Shadows and the Reverend 3 days before. The Key Club revealed an animated music video for A Little Piece of Heaven. To promote their new album, Avenged Sevenfold started their U.S. tour on October 29, headlining in Los Angeles, California at the Wilton. Their opening acts were Black Tide and Operator. On October 30, 2007, Avenged Sevenfold was released in stores worldwide. Music style: the album is more experimental than their other material. It also shows less characteristics of metal heard on their other albums as it moves away from the metal characteristics they have used before. It has been considered as a hard rock album with elements of symphonic rock. It also has some elements from gothic rock and country music. It also is considered experimental music. Reception: upon release, Avenged Sevenfold was met with mixed reviews. Metacritic accumulated an average score of 56 out of 100 based on 13 reviews on the website. Jason Lee Mangrover of AllMusic had given the album a rating of 3 stars out of 5 and wrote, "While their willingness to experiment is admirable, despite the fact that they've gone overboard with their overdues, the overabundance of studio polish leaves one to wonder if it's not because the songs just aren't as strong this time around." A more positive review came from Andrew Wells of AV Club, who commented, "The catchy Stone Temple Pilots vibe of Scream is enough to put the band back on the charts, but that could happen with more than half of this album and it probably will." He graded the album a B. The album wasn't without its more hostile responses. A much more negative review came from Dave DeSilvia of Sputnik Music, summarizing Avenged Sevenfold resemble a poor man's hardcore superstar, and rated the album 1 out of 5. Andrew Blackie of Pop Matters rated the album 2 out of 10 and dismissed it as being unoriginal, overlong even at a 10-track setlist, and riddled with banality. He even went far enough to add, "The disc is even being released the day before Halloween, could it get more corny?" Despite the mixed reaction, the album won the Kerrang! Awards Best Album Award in 2008. The USC Trojans marching band performed the song Almost Easy at the Rose Bowl halftime show on January 1, 2009. Track listing: all songs credited to Avenged Sevenfold. Actual songwriters are listed below. Singles: MVI, The Making of Avenged Sevenfold, The Making of Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven, Crossroads B-side, Studio Tour, Producer for a Day, Pre-encoded MP3s for all tracks, Future Avenged Sevenfold updates, Making of Afterlife video, Afterlife from the band's new CD/DVD, Personnel, Avenged Sevenfold, The Rev Euro drums, backing vocals, Sinister Gates Euro lead guitars, backing vocals, Oliver Wakeman, keyboards, backing vocals, M Shadows Euro vocals, Zaki Vengeance Euro rhythm guitars, backing vocals, Johnny Christ Euro bass, session musicians, programming by J.E. on Critical Acclaim, and Scream, piano and organ by Jamie Mubarak on Critical Acclaim, and Bound, Lost, and A Little Piece of Heaven, piano by Greg Cusson on Almost Easy, upright bass by Miles Mosley on Afterlife, Brompton Cocktail, and A Little Piece of Heaven, cello by Cameron Stone on Afterlife, Brompton Cocktail, and A Little Piece of Heaven, violins by Caroline Campbell and Neil Hammond on Afterlife, Brompton Cocktail, and A Little Piece of Heaven, viola by Andrew Duckles on Afterlife, Brompton Cocktail, and A Little Piece of Heaven, background vocals by Zondra Uroff and Anne-Marie Rizzo on Unbound, percussion by Lenny Castro on Brompton Cocktail, choir, Beth Anderson, Monique Donnelly, Rob Giles, Debbie Hall, Scotty Haskell, Lawana Jackman, Bob Joyce, Rock Logan, Susie Stevens Logan, Arnold McCullough, Gabriel Mann, and Ed Sajak on Unbound, and A Little Piece of Heaven, alto sax by Bill Liston and Brandon Fields on A Little Piece of Heaven, clarinet by Bill Liston and Rusty Higgins on A Little Piece of Heaven, tenor sax by Dave Baruff and Rusty Higgins on A Little Piece of Heaven, bari sax by Joel Peskin on A Little Piece of Heaven, trumpet by Wayne Bergeron and Dan Forino on A Little Piece of Heaven, trombone by Bruce Fowler and Alex Yais on A Little Piece of Heaven, additional vocals by Juliette Comagere on A Little Piece of Heaven, lap, pedal steel and banjo by Greg Lees on Gunslinger, and Dear God, additional vocals by Shanna Crooks on Gunslinger, and Dear God, additional vocals by Jaime Ochoa on Critical Acclaim, Scream on Scream by Valerie Sanders, production, produced by Avenged Sevenfold, engineered by Fred R. Campbell and Dave Schiffman, assisted by Clifton Allen, Chris Steffen, Robert DeLong, Aaron Walk, Mike Schulze, and Josh Wilbur, mixed by Andy Wallace, Mastered by Brian Gardner, drum tech by Mike Fasano, guitar tech by Walter Rice, fan producers for A Day by Daniel McLaughlin and Christopher Ginn, references, Katie Hasty. Eagles Fly Past Me to debut at number 1, Billboard.com, November 7, 2007. Last access November 7, 2007, ABC Avenged Sevenfold, Avenged Sevenfold. Chad RIAA, ABC http, www.walmusicco12073323, AB Avenged Sevenfold, self-titled. Music Reviewer, Avenged Sevenfold, Nightmare. Blog Critics AB Avenged Sevenfold. Metacritic. Retrieved April 2, 2008. Earls, Andrew. Avenged Sevenfold, Avenged Sevenfold Music Review. The AV Club. Retrieved October 26, 2011. 1, Greenblatt, Leah. Avenged Sevenfold Review Music Reviews and News. EW.com. Retrieved October 26, 2011. Kaz, Jim. Avenged Sevenfold Review, Music Review at IGN. Music.in.com. Retrieved October 26, 2011. Horde, Christian. Avenged Sevenfold Album Reviews. Rolling Stone. Retrieved October 26, 2011. AB Avenged Sevenfold, Avenged Sevenfold. Sputnik Music October 25, 2007. Retrieved December 5, 2011. Earls, Andrew. Avenged Sevenfold Music Review. The AV Club. Retrieved October 26, 2011. Blackie, Andrew. Avenged Sevenfold, Pop Matters. PopMatters.com. Retrieved October 26, 2011. USC Trojan Marching Band to perform Avenged Sevenfold's Almost Easy during Rose Bowl halftime show. AB Billboard.com. Artist chart history, Avenged Sevenfold Billboard. Retrieved on December 14, 2008. http, www.tukmusickom webvideos WKILG Avenged Sevenfold Making Self-Titled Album Full, external links, Avenged Sevenfold at Metacritic.